Thank you for coming, and really a special thanks to the families that's here. No, let the children play. Let them play, because it really personifies and really focus on why we're doing this. I think that all of us who are parents understand how devastating it could be when you have a diagnosis of cancer. And I cannot thank my colleague, Councilman Gentile, enough for teaming up with me to move forward with legislation that he's going to explain around funding. But really, we're here today to talk about how do we bring awareness, and there's several ways of bringing awareness. One way to do so is to utilize this building, Borough Hall, what is considered to be the centerpiece for Brooklyn, to light it gold. And when we light Borough Hall gold, it really signifies how important it is for us to pay attention to something as important as childhood cancer. I could only imagine what Sunshine and Matt, her dad, who's here, what you go through as a child, experience this as well. I have an 18-year-old, and I know how much, no matter how, as I say, how deep his voice is and how much hair he grows on his face, our children are still considered our babies. And it is the most precious part of our borough. And Borough Hall is going to be part of the team, part of the planet. Stephen, let the children play. You can tell you had a terrible childhood. Let the children play. That's the joy of growing in Brooklyn when you hear children play. In the gold glow in Brooklyn Hall, we are affirming our support for those in this struggle. Tonight, I am introducing legislative resolution with Councilman Gentile to create vanity license plates, and he'll go in depth in that. When you look at some of the numbers, in 2014, it is estimated that 15,780 children and adolescents between ages of 0 and 13 will be diagnosed with cancer. 1,960 of them will die of this disease in the United States. Children with Down syndrome, a genetic condition caused by the presence of extra copies of chromosome, are 10 to 20 times more likely to develop leukemia than children without. But here's what's even more staggering that I'm troubled about. Less than 5% of the federal government's total funding for cancer research is dedicated to childhood cancer. That should not happen. And that's why we are joining other important locations in the borough, like the parachute jump and Borough Hall, by lighting the building gold. When Brooklyn Borough Hall goes gold for childhood cancer awareness, our entire borough would beam with a spirit of solidarity for our young people suffering from this deadly disease. And we have some great partners here that I want to highlight. Again, Councilman Gentile, Councilman Matthew Eugene, Councilwoman Lori Cumbo have all voiced their support. And Queens Borough President Melinda Katz has also joined us and voiced her support. Assemblyman Joe Lintor, and State Senator Montgomery, which is important because in order for this bill to move forward, we must make sure we have a partner in both houses. We have a partner with Joe Lintor, and we have a partner with State Senator Velmanette Montgomery. And I want to some of the organization and family members who are here, I just want to acknowledge them as well. Camille Lachisano, President of Frankie's Mission. Alex Gaja, a teenage cancer patient. Of course, the councilman, Matt Gable, pediatric cancer advocate, and he's a father with two-year-old undergo treatment for infant leukemia. And Enza Bakuzi, founder of Olivia Bakuzi Foundation. So there's a team that has come together, not only advocates and parents and those who have lost loved ones through cancer. And the goal has always been is how do we turn a pain into purpose? How do we move from a place of woe is me to a place of it's going to be me, to advocate on an important endeavor as this? There is nothing more important than finding the funding, the research, the commitment, the support, the dedication, and our desire to wipe out cancer among our children. Childhood cancer has met its match when it came to attack our children here in the borough of Brooklyn, here in New York City, and here in the United States. What we do here by lighting this building gold is sending a loud message that the beam that comes from this building is the beam that we're going to focus together as one borough to find a cure for childhood cancer. I want to now turn it over to my partner and good friend, Councilman Gentile. Councilman?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Borough President. And as Borough President Adams said, tonight really is another step in the awareness on the need for better research money for pediatric cancer. And this whole month is the Go Gold campaign, so we can raise awareness on the need for research of pediatric cancer. And as the Borough President said, we were down in Coney Island, and the parachute jump now is gold for several days in honor of this campaign. And there are gold ribbons and gold lights all over Bay Ridge and all over Dyker Heights in this part of town. And now tonight with the leadership of our borough president, Eric Adams, we as a borough come together, and he says we as a borough are going gold right here at Borough Hall, so that all of Brooklyn is on record as saying we need more research money for pediatric cancer. As Borough President said, it's only a couple of % of all the cancer research goes to childhood cancer, and that's not enough. And all of you who have been through this experience know that it's not enough. And so that's part of what this Go Gold campaign is about. And I want to thank our borough president. Let's give him a nice hand for putting us together tonight as one borough. Now, in addition to all the lighting that's going on around here at Borough Hall and around town, as you can see to my left and to my right are what look like New York State license plates. And that's what they're supposed to look like, because Borough President Adams and I are introducing in the New York City Council a resolution that will call upon the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles to create and to issue a distinctive custom license plate bearing the words "Cure Childhood Cancer." The annual service charge for the plate would be deposited into the Department of Motor Vehicles Distinctive Plate Development Fund, and the excess of $6,000, which is the cost of what it would take to create this plate, the excess of $6,000 would be deposited to the credit of the Cure Childhood Cancer Trust Fund as part of the Distinctive Plate Development Fund. So that's our proposal, that's our resolution. It has to be done at the state level, but Borough President Adams and I are putting in a resolution at the City Council to say this is the will of the people, not only of Brooklyn, but all of City Council, that this be done at the state level. So that's I hope you support that move too. So again, Mr. Borough President, thank you so much on behalf of all the families here, and certainly all those who have worked hard to make this a successful campaign. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, Councilman. We want to hear from the family members and the advocates. We would like to hear from Camille Lacasano.
Camille, you're up.
Thank you very much. I'd like to extend a special gratitude to our Brooklyn Borough President and to Gentile, Councilman, and all those who helped to make this moment possible. It's really very meaningful to all of us. Let's give them a hand. This has been a very busy month, a good busy month. Good because we have engaged in so much gold unveiling, gold ribbons, gold lighting, and helps us get to where we need to be. Where do we need to be? To a time where we can speak about all this in the past tense. I want to be able to tell my grandchildren of a long ago, far away illness. Yes, it took their young uncle, but I want to be able to simply only have to describe it to them. I don't want anyone to really know what it is. We really need to rid ourselves of childhood cancer. And the way for that to happen, and the only way, is to raise more funds for research. Right now, $5 billion passed in the federal budget to go toward overall cancer research. 97% goes to adult research, 3% goes to childhood research. And when I tell people that, they gasp. They cannot believe it, but that is a true fact. For the funds, our federal funds, your money, that flows to the laboratories of the National Institute of Health, 97% for adults, for cancer research, 3% for children. In our society, that is unacceptable, and we are now feeling the repercussions of that. The treatments are highly invasive. They are worse than the cancer itself. Children are in pain. They are suffering. They are losing their lives. For children who are surviving, they go on into adulthood with other illnesses that they need heart transplants and so many different things. So the whole thing just needs to be seen to. And these steps, awareness, community, coming together, lighting gold, our elected officials getting on board with us, this is what's needed, and we all thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is Alex here? Matt?
I'll just bend down.
No, you can take it off. Do the Bill de Blasio for you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. I want to send a very sincere thank you to Eric Adams and his office. I was told that when they heard about the Empire State Building, which, funny enough, hi, Thomas. Funny enough, you can actually see the Empire State Building from the steps here when I first arrived before anybody else got here, and I just took a moment to stand here and look at it and quietly send a thank you for what they did by denying kids with cancer a night to themselves and going gold. Has lit up the rest of the city, from Coney Island to Borough Hall to Times Square. Penn Station today lit up again gold for kids with cancer. It's been pretty incredible that a no has led to so many yeses from the city, especially Brooklyn, our home. Sally here is a 6th generation Brooklynite. As you can see, she's very smiley and happy. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. A lot of the treatments she gets that were invented 40 years ago cause her to be miserable. They cause a lot of vomiting, nausea. They cause her growth to be stunted. She can't eat. She's fed through a feeding tube because of the pain she experienced from the medicines causing sores in her entire digestive tract. Hi, Sally. You too. Both kids want to say hello. It's very sad. It's disheartening. And once you're up on the 9th floor at Sloan Kettering or any of the pediatric floors across the country, you see the pain that these kids go through. The treatment, like Camille said, is oftentimes worse than the actual cancer. We lose a lot of kids from the treatment itself. A lot of kids die from heart failure, from some of the chemos that are known to cause heart damage, yet there's no better alternative. That's why we need more funding. We need more than the 3 to 4% we're getting now. So I ask all the politicians who have been supporting us to help us. Whatever you can do. The license plate's incredible. I didn't know that. I didn't know until I just heard the Borough President and Councilman Gentile mention it. It makes me emotional because it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's a huge step. So I just want to thank everybody, and please do whatever you can, and especially this year, go gold. It's simple. Gold shoelaces, gold nail polish, gold Borough Hall. Whatever you can do, and then next year I want to build on it even more. But thank you, everybody. This is a great step in the right direction.
And we thank you, Matt, you and your family, because I think that no matter what the councilman and I say, nothing really drove home the point more than what you shared with us. And it just takes so much for family members to come out and just continue to push this issue. So we thank you. And I think that the founder of Olivia Bacuzzi Foundation could really speak to that now. We want to ask her to come forward and say a few words.
Hi. I too would like to join everyone in thanking the Borough President and all of our local politicians for supporting us and really lighting up gold this September. Unfortunately, on September 21st, 3 years ago, we received the worst possible news that any parent would really want to, obviously. Our little girl, Olivia, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And perfect, healthy, absolutely no problems. Literally overnight, our whole world got turned upside down. And what we realized, being thrown into this world of pediatric cancer, which we really didn't know before, we really didn't know, we realized how awful, how horrific it is. And we didn't know that childhood cancer is the #1 disease killer of kids in the United States and in the world. We didn't know that so many kids are getting diagnosed, and every day so many children are dying. We didn't realize that the treatments are so ineffective and are experimental. And most of Olivia's treatment were phase 1 clinical trials, which is unacceptable. It truly is. I mean, children are, obviously, they're our precious, most precious people, little people in our society, and we all have to fight for them. And unfortunately, I didn't know until my family got thrown into this, and obviously, our loss is the worst loss that anyone could have. But we're here, and we're trying our best with so many wonderful parents and families and politicians and activists to try to give kids a voice. And we just are so thankful to our city, to Brooklyn, for supporting us, and it's truly beautiful to see in September now, which I've never seen, so much gold and people really asking those necessary questions. What does the gold stand for? And realizing that it's for childhood cancer, and Googling that and figuring out what's going on and really supporting and getting on board with trying to help kids. So again, from the bottom of my heart, we thank you, and again, just continue to support gold. Awareness is the first step. As people become aware of the statistics and become aware of what's going on, what's truly happening to our children. This could happen to anyone. It could be anyone's child. Literally overnight, children get diagnosed, and you get thrown into this world. So as more people know, more will be done. And we thank you. We thank you for helping, and the license, that's amazing. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Very well said. So again, we thank you all. We are going to light Borough Hall gold, and that is going to show a clear pathway to finding a cure for childhood cancer. Thank you, and I thank you all for coming out. Thank you.
All right, how are you doing this? We counting this out?